6 to 9. You're about to have a really good time, and it's sure to make you smile. On the bus, in the car, on the AirPods without wires. Rank it up on the worksite, it's the Bad and Liam podcast. Bad and Liam podcast.
G'day there, podcaster.
And welcome to our extra podcast with a good friend of ours, Lewis Garnham, very funny man. If you're in Adelaide this week, go check his Fringe show out. And if not, then I'm sure you'll see him around. He gets around. He's around the traps.
Get around him on the TikTok.
Yeah, he's funny on TikTok. Yeah, I don't want to go into his gear because he kind of explains it a little bit in the chat.
Yeah.
So you enjoy.
Our next guest is an Adelaide-born and bred comedian who claims to be, quote, the greatest comedian ever. This year, he's bringing his show Wreak Havoc to the Adelaide Fringe. Please welcome Lewis Garnham.
Lewis Garnham, good morning, mate. How you doing?
Thanks for having me, boys. I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, we got the greatest comedian ever from your Insta bio. Are you
That's so
regretting
funny.
that?
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, no one's ever introduced me in that way. But yeah, it's my Insta bio, and look, I think it's true. I'm the greatest comedian of all time.
Now, it's been a minute since we've had you on. We love chatting to you every Fringe. You're a mate of ours as well. And since then, you've gone viral on TikTok with your theory on masks.
I didn't expect that to blow up the way it did, but yeah, I mean, people are pretty angry about masks and not masks and all that stuff. And yeah, it kind of went nuts. My theory was it's strange to not believe in masks working because all the concept of a mask is you put something over something and then less of something goes in either direction, which is essentially the same as shelter. Like that's what a roof is. That's why the rain doesn't come in. So to not believe in that is pretty strange.
Have you found since popping off on the talk that maybe your audiences have started changing? Like, have you got like young kids dabbing in the audience now? Or?
There was a few young kids a couple nights ago, but nah, I think you just pop off on the talk and then their attention spans are so quick they forget about you 5 minutes later.
Of course.
They don't stick around, the talk fans. They're not loyal.
Well, Lewis, we've been doing this with every single comedian that we've had in for the Fringe so far. It's a little game called Topic Tombola.
It's a great title.
Yeah, it is. Well, it is and it isn't, because we were having this argument that like no one knows what a tombola is, but it's like if you Google it, like it comes up with bingo stuff. It's basically like the big barrel that you wheel around, the ball comes out, you know.
Yeah. That's what I was visualizing in my head.
Oh, that's good. That's good. I mean, you obviously have more of an extensive vocabulary than us. A producer actually came up with the name, to be completely honest with you. Okay, well, a ball has just come out. A ball has just dropped out, and
oh my God.
It has a word on it. And your topic this morning, a topic we're going to need a story about, is snake.
Oh, wow.
Anything comes to your mind?
Snake.
I might have told you guys this story maybe off air at some point, but I worked at a summer camp in America a few years ago. Yeah. And one day all the kids were sitting on the oval and we had a guy come in, like a reptile expert. Yeah. And he came in and he started showing them the lizards and then the snakes, and he had two snakes in a sack. Yeah. And he opened the sack and he said, these two travel together, they're friends. And he reached in and I could tell something had gone wrong. His face changed. He reached into the sack and he starts pulling out the more boring of the two. There was two in there. One of them was really exotic and rare. The other one was just a classic sort of snake. Yeah. That's what he'd told us before. He starts pulling out the classic one, the stock standard snake. And as he's pulling it out by its tail. As he pulls it out, it's like this slow unveil. The classic snake is biting down on the head of the snake that he loves. It's like clasped onto its skull. And the snake he loves, it's just so dead. It's like clearly dead. Starts getting a bit chaotic. Some kids are yelling. I'm sitting next to this kid, William. He's really smart. He's 8 years old. He stands up and yells at the guy. He's like, why don't you keep them in separate enclosures? The guy's having a breakdown. Like, this is his favorite snake, his best friend. Anyway, he pulled them apart, pulled the jaws of the other snake off his beautiful beloved snake, and then he like looked at it and he's holding it, it's dead, and he starts giving it mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. I watched a man pump air into snake for like 5 minutes in front of like 150 screaming children. It was the most insane thing I've ever seen. And yeah, beautifully he brought it back to life. He revived the snake, and everyone started cheering. Yeah.
I wouldn't even know where to do the chest compressions on a snake. Like, where is their heart
Where's the
located?
chest?
I don't know.
It's also like, because they're all neck, you could sort of see the air going into its lungs. Like, it did look like he was blowing up a balloon for a lot of points.
That is.
I don't know. Is that a good enough story? That's the weirdest snake thing.
Good.
I reckon it's one of the best we've had. Lewis Garnham, thank you so much for joining us. You can get your tickets for Brett Blake and Lewis Garnham's show, Wreak Havoc, at the Rhino Room. Make sure you go check it out this weekend. You can get these tickets from adelaidefringe.com.au. Thank you so much for your time this morning, mate.
Boys, thank you so much for having me. I always love chatting to you.
And that's the end of our chat with Lewis Garnham, the wonderful comedian. Hopefully you enjoyed it.
He did a little bit of work with us early days when we were volunteering at Fresh.
That's right.
He used to help us with the phones sometimes.
Yeah, no, that's what. And I remember he was really nice because he was only with us for like a couple of weeks, and then when it was all said and done, he bought us like gifts, but they were really like he gave me a Freddie Mercury concert sort of DVD, like the Freddie Mercury tribute concert, which I really liked. I don't remember what he gave you.
No, I've forgotten as well.
Yeah, right. But
I was hoping you would remember for me what he got me.
No, I always remember that. I was like, that was so sweet. Like, you know when people give you presents and they just like don't need to?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, oh, well, that was nice.
Yeah. What did I get? Nah, it doesn't matter. I'm sure it was thoughtful.
I'm sure it was very thoughtful.
Yeah.
I remember, he'd worked us out pretty well, that's for sure.
Yeah, he worked us over.
Well, he didn't work us over. That's why he gave us the present, because he worked us over. Catch you in the next one.
All right, see you, podcaster.
Ben and Liam is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.